In this video, we are going to learn about functions of kidney and some related topics. So, functions of kidney, nephron, juxtaglomerular apparatus. The kidneys are vital organs of the urinary system that perform a variety of important functions in the body. They filter waste products from the blood and excrete them in the form of urine. The nephron, the functional unit of the kidney, performs this filtration process. The juxtaglomerular apparatus, a specialized structure located within the nephron, plays a crucial role in regulating blood pressure and fluid balance in the body. So, functions of kidney. Filtration. The primary function of kidney is to filter the blood and remove excess water, salts, waste products from the body. Excretion. The filtered waste products and excessive fluids are excreted from the body in the form of urine. Then regulation of electrolyte balance. The kidneys help to maintain a proper balance of electrolytes in the body, including sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Then acid-base balance. The kidneys help to regulate the pH balance of the body by excreting excess acids or bases. Then production of hormones. The kidneys produce several important hormones, including erythropoietin, which stimulate the production of red blood cells, and renin, which helps to regulate blood pressure. Then functions of the nephron. Filtration. The nephron filters the blood and removes waste products and excess fluids from the body. Then reabsorption. The nephron selectively reabsorbs important substances such as glucose, amino acids, and electrolytes back into the bloodstream. Then secretion. The nephron secretes waste products and excess substances such as drugs or toxins into the urine for excretion. Then regulation of fluid balance. The nephron helps to regulate the fluid balance of the body by adjusting the amount of water reabsorbed or excreted. Then production of hormones. The nephron produces several hormones that play important roles in regulating blood pressure and electrolyte balance. Then functions of the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Regulation of blood pressure. The juxtaglomerular apparatus helps regulate blood pressure by producing renin, which converts angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1, a hormone that constricts blood vessels and increases blood pressure. Then control of fluid and electrolyte balance. The juxtaglomerular apparatus helps to regulate the balance of fluid and electrolytes in the body by producing hormones that control the reabsorption of sodium and water in the nephron. Then maintenance of glomerular filtration rate. The juxtaglomerular apparatus helps to maintain the glomerular filtration rate, or GFR, which is the rate at which blood is filtered by the glomerulus. This is important for maintaining proper kidney function. In summary, the kidney, nephron, and juxtaglomerular apparatus each play important roles in regulating the balance of fluids, electrolytes, and waste products in the body, as well as maintaining proper blood pressure and kidney function. Next, urine formation process in detail. Urine formation is a complex process that occurs in the kidneys, specifically in the nephrons. The process involves three main steps: glomerular filtration, glomerular reabsorption, and tubular secretion. First, glomerular filtration. The first step of urine formation is glomerular filtration, which occurs in the glomerulus of each nephron. The glomerulus is a network of capillaries surrounded by Bowman's capsule. As blood flows through the glomerulus, a portion of the blood plasma is filtered out of the capillaries and into Bowman's capsule. This filtrate contains water, electrolytes, and small molecules such as glucose, amino acids, and urea. Tubular reabsorption. The second step of urine formation is tubular reabsorption, which occurs in the renal tubules. As the filtrate passes through the tubules, substances that are needed by the body, such as glucose, amino acids, and electrolytes, are reabsorbed into the bloodstream. This occurs via active transport, diffusion, and osmosis. Water is also reabsorbed into the bloodstream, which helps to maintain the body's fluid balance. Then tubular secretion. The final step of urine formation is tubular secretion, which is the opposite of tubular reabsorption. In this step, certain substances are actively transported from the bloodstream into the renal tubules. These substances include hydrogen ions, potassium ions, and creatinine. This step helps to eliminate waste products and maintain the body's electrolyte balance. After the three steps of urine formation, the remaining filtrate is considered urine and is transported to the collecting ducts, which lead to the renal pelvis. From there, the urine is transported to the bladder and eventually eliminated from the body via the urethra. Overall, urine formation is a complex process that plays a crucial role in maintaining the body's fluid and electrolyte balance, eliminating waste products, and regulating blood pressure. Then, glomerular filtration in detail. Glomerular filtration is a vital process that takes place in the kidney, responsible for the filtration of blood and the formation of urine. The glomerulus, a network of capillaries, is the primary site for this process to occur. In this essay, we will discuss the parts involved in glomerular filtration, the mechanism of process, the procedure, and the nerves and muscles associated with this. And parts involved in glomerular filtration. The main parts involved in glomerular filtration are the glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, and the proximal and distal convoluted tubules. The glomerulus is a cluster of capillaries that are responsible for filtering the blood. Bowman's capsule surrounds the glomerulus and collects the filtrate from the blood. The proximal and distal convoluted tubules are responsible for reabsorbing and secreting substances from the filtrate. Next, mechanism of glomerular filtration. The mechanism of glomerular filtration involves three main layers: the glomerular endothelium, the basement membrane, and the podocytes. The glomerular endothelium is fenestrated, allowing small molecules and ions to pass through. The basement membrane is composed of negatively charged glycoproteins that repel negatively charged molecules such as proteins. The podocytes, which are specialized cells that wrap around the capillaries, have foot-like extensions called pedicels, which create filtration slits. These slits allow small molecules and ions to pass through but prevent the passage of large molecules such as proteins. Then procedure. The procedure of glomerular filtration starts with blood entering the glomerulus through the afferent arteriole. Blood pressure forces water and small molecules through the fenestrated capillary endothelium and the basement membrane into Bowman's capsule. The filtrate collected in Bowman's capsule then flows into the proximal convoluted tubule, where most of the filtrate's reabsorption occurs. The distal convoluted tubule then selectively reabsorbs or secretes substances from the filtrate, producing the final urine. Nerves and muscles associated with glomerular filtration. The nerves and muscles associated with glomerular filtration are part of the autonomous nerve system, the sympathetic nerve system, which is responsible for the fight or flight response, can reduce blood flow to the kidneys and decrease glomerular filtration rate. The parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and digest response, can increase blood flow to the kidneys and increase glomerular filtration rate. So, parasympathetic nervous system increase glomerular filtration rate. Then, importance of glomerular filtration. Glomerular filtration is essential for the proper functioning of the kidneys and the body as a whole. It helps remove waste products and excess water from the body, maintaining proper fluid and electrolyte balance. Without glomerular filtration, toxins and waste products would build up in the body, leading to various health problems. So, in conclusion, glomerular filtration is a complex process that involves several parts of the kidney. It is responsible for filtering the blood and forming urine. The glomerular endothelium, basement membrane, and podocytes work together to allow small molecules and ions to pass through while preventing the passage of large molecules such as proteins. The autonomic nervous system regulates glomerular filtration, and proper functioning of this process is essential for maintaining fluid and electrolyte balance in the body. Then, tubular reabsorption in detail. Tubular reabsorption is the process by which the substances present in the filtrate are reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. This is a crucial step in urine formation as it allows the body to retain important substances while eliminating waste products. Tubular reabsorption occurs in the proximal and distal convoluted tubules of the nephron. The parts needed for tubular reabsorption include the renal tubules, the peritubular capillaries, the various transporters and channels. The peritubular capillaries surround the renal tubule and are responsible for carrying away the reabsorbed substances. The transporters and channels present in the tubules are responsible for the movement of substances from the tubules to the bloodstream. The mechanism of tubular reabsorption involves the movement of substances across the tubule epithelium and into the peritubular capillaries. The transporters and channels present in the tubules are responsible for the movement of various substances such as glucose, amino acids, and electrolyte across the epithelial cells and into the bloodstream. The movement of water follows the movement of solutes through osmosis. The procedure for tubular reabsorption involves three main steps like active transport. Active transport is used to move substances such as glucose. Active transport. Active transport is used to move substances such as glucose, amino acids, and some ions across the tubular epithelium. This requires the use of energy in the form of ATP. Then passive transport. Passive transport is used to move substances such as ions, urea, and water across the tubular epithelium. This process does not require the use of energy and occurs due to the concentration gradient across the epithelium. Then osmosis. Water moves across the tubular epithelium through osmosis following the movement of solutes such as ions and glucose. The nerves and muscular systems play a minimal role in tubular reabsorption. However, the renal autoregulation system, consisting of the juxtaglomerular apparatus, plays a crucial role in maintaining the glomerular filtration rate and, in turn, the rate of tubular reabsorption. Tubular reabsorption is an important process as it allows the body to retain essential substances such as glucose, amino acids, and electrolytes while eliminating waste products such as urea and excess ions. It helps in maintaining the pH and osmotic balance of the body. Any dysfunction in the process of tubular reabsorption can lead to various diseases such as diabetes mellitus, Fanconi syndrome, and renal tubular acidosis. In conclusion, tubular reabsorption is a complex process that involves the movement of various substances across the renal tubule and into the bloodstream. It is a crucial step in urine formation and helps in maintaining the balance of important substances in the body. Then tubular secretion. Tubular secretion is a process that occurs in the renal tubule of the kidney, specifically in the proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and collecting ducts. This process involves the movement of substances from the blood in the peritubular capillaries into the renal tubules. What's happening? Movement of substances from the blood in the peritubular capillaries into the renal tubules. The substances include drugs, hormones, and exocyans such as potassium and hydrogen ions. So parts involved. Tubular secretion involves several parts of the nephron, including the proximal convoluted tubule, the distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting ducts. The proximal convoluted tubule is responsible for reabsorbing most of the water and solutes that are filtered by the glomerulus, and it also secretes substances such as drugs and toxins into the tubule. The distal convoluted tubule and the collecting ducts are responsible for fine-tuning the concentration of electrolytes and the pH of the urine, and they secrete substances such as potassium and hydrogen ions. Tubular secretion occurs via active transport and facilitated diffusion. The process involves the movement of substances from the peritubular capillaries into the renal tubule against their concentration gradient. This is achieved by the activity of carrier proteins, which transport the substances across the tubular epithelial cells. Once in the tubular lumen, the substances can then be eliminated from the body through the urine. The substances that are secreted into the renal tubules are filtered into the blood in the peritubular capillaries. The carrier proteins in the tubular epithelial cells actively transport the substances across cell membrane and into the tubular lumen. This process occurs in the proximal convoluted tubule, the distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting ducts, depending on the substance being secreted. Once in the tubular lumen, the substances can then be eliminated from the body through the urine. Then nerves and muscle control. Tubular secretion is under the control of the nerves and endocrine systems. The sympathetic nerve system, which is activated during times of stress, which increase the secretion of renin from the juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney, which in turn can increase the secretion of aldosterone from the adrenal gland. Aldosterone promotes the secretion of potassium ions and the reabsorption of sodium ions, which can indirectly increase the secretion of hydrogen ions into the tubules. This parathyroid hormone, which is secreted by the parathyroid gland, can increase the secretion of calcium ions into the tubules. Muscles on the walls of the collecting ducts also play a role in secretion of hydrogen ions and potassium ions. What is importance? Tubular secretion plays an important role in maintaining the body's acid-base balance, electrolyte balance, and water balance. By secreting excess hydrogen ions, potassium ions, and other waste products, the kidney help to maintain the pH of the body within a narrow range. By secreting excess calcium ions, the kidney help to regulate the body's calcium levels. By secreting excess water and electrolyte, the kidneys help to regulate the body's fluid and electrolyte balance. Tubular secretion also plays a role in elimination of drugs and toxins from the body. In conclusion, tubular secretion is an important process that occurs in the renal tubules of the kidneys. It involves the movement of substances from the peritubular capillaries into the renal tubules against their concentration gradient. This process is achieved by the activity of carrier proteins. Next topic you will be learning with the help of next video.